Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about what stationary points are and how to find stationary points on curves. Now, to kind of access this video you're going to need to know a bit about differentiation, only kind of basic stuff, but if that's something that's new to you I'll link my video on that in the description. So we'll start off by talking about what stationary points are, and then we'll do a few different examples of finding them. And I'll timestamp each part of the video below, so if you really only just want to see worked questions you can skip through to those. And if you do find this video useful, please do go over to my channel where I have loads of other maths tutorials. So to start off with, let's talk about what we mean by a stationary point. Well, any point on your curve where the derivative is equal to 0 is what we call a stationary point, and that's pretty much it. So to kind of show you what these look like graphically, you can see here I've got a generic curve. This is a cubic, and for this example it doesn't really matter what its equation is. And if we start off by looking at this portion of the curve here, this is where the curve is increasing. So by that I mean this is where the curve has a positive gradient. So you can see here it's increasing for all of these values until we get to this peak here. This is the peak of the curve. And then as we go over the peak and we go down the other side, you can see the curve starts to decrease. So this is where the curve has a gradient that's less than 0. Let's label that on. And then you can see we get to this trough here. I'll label that on. There's the trough. And as we go around to the other side of that trough, you can see the curve begins to increase again. So it starts to have a positive gradient. So if we take a look at the curve, as we go from, well, a positive gradient to a negative one, as we go around the peak, there must be a point in between where the gradient is 0. It goes from having a positive gradient to a negative one, so it kind of makes sense that there must be some point between them where the gradient is 0, and that's this point I've labelled on here. It's this peak. It's where the gradient is 0. And likewise down at this trough we've got this negative gradient turning into a positive one, and so there must be a point in between where the gradient is 0, and that's that point we labelled on here at that trough. So this is where the gradient is equal to 0. Now, another word for these stationary points is turning points, because you can see the curve is kind of turning around. It's where it goes from being an increasing to a decreasing function, at least at this one here, or where it goes from being a decreasing to an increasing function there. So these are called turning points. Now you can also label them in other ways. In this case we've got a minimum and a maximum. Sometimes you might have something called a point of inflection, and those are things we're going to talk about in a later video. So for this one we're purely focusing in on just finding stationary points, which is where the derivative equals 0. Now just to kind of show you that stationary points don't always have to look like this, if we were to look at this curve here, y equals x to the power of 11, well, if we were to find its stationary point, we'd find it's at x equals 0. It's here. This is where dy by dx equals 0. And you can see it's not a turning point. So just because you're at a stationary point, it doesn't mean it's a turning point as well. Okay, so just for this video, focus on the fact that a derivative is where your gradient is equal to 0. So let's look at a few questions where we're finding stationary points. So in this question, we have to find the coordinates of the stationary points of the curve y equals x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2. So to do this, the first thing you want to do is find the derivative dy by dx. So that's pretty easy. We're just going to times by the power and take one away. So we get 3x squared plus 6x. And remember, stationary points are where the derivative equals 0. So we're going to set our derivative equal to 0. And this has given us an equation to solve. So to solve this quadratic, I'm just going to factorize and pull out a factor of 3x from both terms. So it's going to be 3x multiplied by x plus 2. And now it's factorized. Well, we've got two things multiplied together to give 0, so either 3x equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. So let's solve this. So if 3x equals 0, well, x is equal to 0. And if x plus 2 equals 0, well, x must equal negative 2, which means we have two stationary points, one when x is 0, one when x is negative 2. So we want to find the coordinates of these stationary points, which means we also need to find the y coordinates. And so to do that, all we're going to do is take our x values and substitute them back in to the original equation of the curve here. So I'll do that in a different color, so we can say, well, when x equals 0, y is equal to 0 cubed, which is 0, plus 3 times 0 squared, which is also 0, minus 2, and so y is equal to negative 2. So that's one of the stationary point coordinates. Let's do the same with x equals negative 2, so we can say, well, when x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to negative 2 cubed, plus 3 multiplied by negative 2 squared minus 2. And so if we work that out, negative 2 cubed is negative 8, plus, well, 3 times, well, minus 2 squared is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, minus 2, and so if we work that out, we get positive 2 as our y coordinate. And so we get the coordinates of the other stationary point are negative 2, 2. So that's not really too bad. Let's look at another question where the curve is a bit more complicated. So here we're finding the coordinates of the stationary points of the curve y equals minus 4 over x minus x. So again, the first thing you want to do is find the derivative. To make it a bit easier, I'm going to rewrite this curve as minus 4x to the power of minus 1 minus x. Okay, so by rewriting this 4 over x as 4x to the minus 1, it's going to be easier for me to differentiate. So let's find dy by dx. So let's times by the power and take 1 away. So negative 4 multiplied by negative 1 is just 4. X to the power of, we'll take 1 away, minus 2. And then minus x, the derivative is just minus 1. Again, stationary point, so where the derivative equals 0. So we set this equal to 0. And this here is our equation to solve. So to solve this, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Now from here there's a couple ways you could solve this equation. I'm going to choose to rewrite it as 4 over x squared equals 1. Multiply both sides by x squared and get 4 is equal to x squared. And then square root both sides and get x is equal to plus or minus 2. Again, we want the coordinates, not just the x coordinate. And so what I'm going to do now is take x is 2 and x is negative 2 and substitute it back in to the original equation. So when x is equal to 2, y is equal to negative 4 over 2 minus 2, and that gives us, well, 4 over 2 is 2, so minus 2 take away 2 is minus 4. So one of our stationary points has the coordinates 2, negative 4. And to find the other one, we're going to say, well, when x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to negative 4 over negative 2 minus 2. Now you need to be careful with your signs here because we've got 2 negatives, which is going to turn into a positive, and we've also got 2 negatives here, which is going to turn into a positive as well. So we've got negative 4 divided by negative 2, well, that's going to turn into positive 2, and then subtracting negative 2 becomes plus 2, and so we get 4. So the other coordinate is negative 2, 4. And here are our 2 stationary point coordinates. Let's look at the final question, which is a bit more kind of problem solving. We've been given this cubic equation here, and we're told it has a stationary point when x is equal to negative 1, and we need to find the missing value a. So a is just a constant we need to find. So we're going to start the same way as we always do, which is to find the derivative. So let's find dy by dx. So that's going to be 3x squared plus 2ax plus 1. Now, if we were to set this equal to 0, we can't really solve it because we don't know what a is equal to. But the question does tell us that when x is equal to negative 1, we have a stationary point, which means if I substitute negative 1 into my derivative, it must equal 0. So we can say, well, dy by dx at the point x equals minus 1 must equal 0. So let's substitute x equals negative 1 into our derivative. We've got 3 multiplied by negative 1 squared plus 2 times a times negative 1 plus 1, and this equals 0. Okay, negative 1 squared is 1 times 3 is just 3. 2a times negative 1 is minus 2a, and then plus 1 equals 0. Let's add 2a to both sides. We've got 3 plus 1 is 4 equals 2a. Divide both sides by 2, and a equals 2, and we're done. So hopefully this video was useful. If it was, please do go over to my channel where I have loads of other maths tutorials, and you can also go over to my website, which I'll link in the video description. I think it's easier to navigate through all the videos I've made if you go over there. Thanks for watching.